The amazing people at AGL sent me over their 3 new discs being manufactured by Innova. So of course, we've got to try them out. But before we go out into the field and see how they fly, let's see what we've got. Special shout out to my personal shopper Dre, who helped me pick every single one of these discs. I reached out to AGL as soon as I found out that they were going to have some discs manufactured by Innova so that I could try them out. Dre reached out to me and was my personal shopper so that I could get exactly what I wanted, which was incredible. So shout out Dre, thank you so much. First up, let's check out the AGL Koa. The Koa is a beaded putter and it's in this woodland plastic, which is a type of regrind Nexus plastic. So it's exactly how you'd think. It's stiff, but very grippy. Next up, we've got the Elm and Alpine plastic. This is a fairway driver with similar numbers to a Firebird. Alpine plastic is a regrind Champion plastic, and it honestly feels like a more grippy Champion plastic, but not as translucent. Last but not least, we have the Distance driver in a Sequoia, which is in their Polar plastic, which is a regrind Star plastic. It's a bit of a gummier Star plastic, but honestly, it feels incredible, and check out this awesome wood grain stamp. Such a cool foil for this stamp. We already talked about this Koa and the woodland plastic. It's that Nexus end blend, so like I said, it's stiff, but very grippy. It's got a beaded bottom, and honestly, it feels like a beaded aviar on the bottom with maybe like a 0 top. This thing flies crazy straight and holds any line you put it on, kind of that perfect go-to putter for anything that you'd want out on the course. The Elm, like I said, has those flight numbers similar to a Firebird, and honestly, the top, it's got that FD3 kind of top with a little bit of dome, and it's got that Firebird bottom. I think it's going to be great for forehands, and like I said, that Champion regrind plastic, the Alpine plastic, feels like a perfect gummy Champion kind of style plastic. The Sequoia, to me, feels like it's got a DD3 top with a Destroyer bottom. It's insanely glidey, but I'll have more on that in a bit when we actually go out and test the disc. But before we get out into the test flights, I just wanted to shout out the awesome Miles of Disc community. We're now at over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so if you're liking the content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification button if you want to find out when I'm putting out new videos. I'm going to be trying to put out long form videos every single week so that you guys get the content that you want, but I also have some time to actually get out and play. Okay, let's get back into this review. Now, you might be seeing a bit of a theme here, and that theme is obviously based around trees. AGL stands for above ground level, and they're a disc manufacturer that's family owned. And they have this really cool environmental initiative where they plant trees for every disc sold. So not only is every disc named after trees, they have the scientific names on each disc, but they also plant a tree every single time you buy a disc. So you'll buy a disc or a bunch of discs like I did. Then what happens is you'll get a follow-up email registering your name to specific trees that are getting planted in another part of the world. So since I bought 3 discs, I got to plant 3 trees. On top of that, they're using regrind plastic, so they're using recycled plastics for all of their discs. But I bet you're wondering, how do they fly? So let's start out with the AGL Koa. I'm gonna throw each disc on each line, flat, hyzer, and hyzer. Let's see how they fly. Wow, pretty much dead straight. Lands flat, kind of exactly what you'd expect out of kind of a throwing putter, you know, putting putter. Next up, we've got the Elm, which is an overstable fairway. Same thing, gonna throw it flat on backhand. Oh, you'll see that overstability kick in right away. Oh, good ground play too. Very similar to like maybe like a Firebird. And then last up, we've got the Sequoia, the distance driver. This thing bombs, so let's keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't go out into the woods. Throw it nice and flat. Little low, but look how much glide that thing has. Good skip, way past the uprights. Okay, let's try putting some angles on these discs. We're gonna throw all of them in a hyzer angle now. Pretty much straight with a little bit of fade. Flies on the line that you'd expect it to. Now let's throw the overstable fairway, the Elm. Same thing, hyzer release. This should show a lot of that fade. Yep, did. And then last up, let's do the Sequoia on hyzer as well. Thinking we'll see something very similar. Man, that disc just wants to go. Goes so far. Woo, right into the net. Had to switch angles there just because there's some dog owners at this park. But of course, it's a mixed use space. So now we're gonna throw them on anhyzer, starting with the Koa, the putter. Get an idea of how it flies on different angles. It's a lot of anhyzer. It doesn't really want to come out of it. Pretty much just stays on the line that it's thrown on. Now we'll throw the Elm, the overstable fairway. And you'll see it wants to come out of it pretty much right away. Let's hope there's nobody coming out of there. Then last but not least, the Sequoia. They just fly so far. So much glide. So there you have it, and I'm not gonna lie, I love these discs. I don't think I've ever seen a throwing putter go as straight as I have with a Koa. Maybe the Invader, but this thing just wants to go on a rope every time I threw it. Will it find a place in my bag? Honestly, I don't know, but if I think I need that perfectly straight throwing putter, then this is definitely what I'd be looking for. I have an affinity for Firebirds, and my Sextons are already in my bag, and I've worked with them for years now, so I don't think they're going anywhere, but this is a nice kind of middle ground. That's a really good backhand feel for that kind of Firebird slot, similar to those FD3. So if you're an FD3 fan, you might really love this elm. The Sequoia has unbelievable glide. I threw this flat with almost zero power and it still pushed past 300 feet with ease. I almost lost it on my first throw because it went so far, it landed in the forest behind the uprights. I'm curious to see what mold they're going to release next. My thought is that it'll probably be an overstable mid or maybe an overstable approach, since that's something that they're kind of missing right now in this trio. But I will say that I love seeing these collaborations with small companies and large manufacturers because it gets this into people's hands while still supporting these family-owned companies. It's kind of a win-win. New molds, new plastic, and an environmental conscious company, like that is just incredible. Don't worry, as soon as they release their new mold, I'll be sure to grab one and check it out and give it a full review for you. Remember to stay tuned for future videos coming up where I'm going to be doing a 1,000 sub giveaway where I'm giving away a Grip BX3 and a bunch of discs. That's it for this one. I'll catch you all in the next one, and as always, get out and throw.